Watch fans, today we're going to be looking at Rolex Cellini, one of those lines that I personally fell in love with just because I love the texture and design difference. It gives you something a little bit different or outside of that normal look that you see when you see Rolex. In fact, when I first began to sell Rolex around 2005, it was one of those things that really shifted and gave me the opportunity to introduce a lot of people who felt like Rolex may have had a stigma to it or actually had a look that everyone may have had. I could give them a piece of something different. And this is definitely that line that allowed me to do it. This line actually being named after Cellini himself, the famous sculptor and goldsmith, actually really represents what you should be looking for when you're talking about craftsmanship, when actually using gold itself. So I feel like Rolex did an amazing job when they decided to actually name it after Cellini himself. Now, Cellini being most famous for the statue with Perseus holding the head of Medusa, that is one of those pieces that you will always refer to and see it as one of the most beautiful Italian pieces that you could ever find. And this gentleman actually created all of those things and did so many other great sculptures, actually being a goldsmith. And Rolex used that name to really give us something that would actually be great in fine arts for the watch world itself. Now, these are actually going to be three different designs that actually belong to the Cellini line. With that being said, the Danaos actually being the round, this one was introduced around 2000, is one of those pieces that I personally own. I love the fact that you can get it in white gold. You can actually get it in rose gold or red gold, because that's before you would actually get the new gold of rose from Rolex, which would actually be the Ever Rose. And you can also get it in the platinum, or you could do so many other things, including the Tridor, where you can have all three colors in one. This piece really gives you that touch of class. It gives you that simplicity, very open look, so that the art itself can breathe, which I really enjoy. The next piece that we actually have is going to be the Prince. Now, with the Cellini Prince, it is truly going to be a dressed watch. This gives you that Art Deco feel, and it is actually a remake and redesign from the 1920s to 1930s, where Rolex reintroduced this Art Deco look. This was a big deal during that time, but it kind of phased out as tradition would actually become a little bit more modern, things would change, but I love the fact that they actually reintroduced this around 2005 back into the collection, and it would actually last until about 2014. This is one of those pieces that gives you the opportunity to wear a squared Rolex genuine piece. And I feel like the craftsmanship on this was definitely detailed in a way that Cellini himself would really enjoy, even by the little small bars that are actually placed into the structure of it itself. For this, it gives a true Art Deco feel. It's the first one that you would actually see too, where you actually have a shine to the leather. Whenever you have a shine to the leather, the Swiss rule means that that is a dress watch. So this would actually be exactly that, a dress watch that will be introduced, and it would actually stand the test of time, as this is still one of those pieces that not only gives you great value, but it maintains great value in its worth as well. One of the pieces that we actually all enjoy now is going to be the Cellini, where we have for the first time an automatic. With the automatic movement, it does allow self-winding. So it's not just one that you wind up and have to actually address every other day, or as you would have for the other pieces that were going to be in the Cellini line. This Cellini actually gives you something a little bit different. By actually having that rotor that is going to be self-winding, it makes it where you can wind it once, and if you wear it all the time, it's going to continue to run for your enjoyment. This being the first automatic in its collection, I absolutely fell in love with it. There were so many different features and choices that you could get, and it actually went anywhere from just a standard piece with a calendar. You could do a GMT, and now there's even a moon phase that would actually finally be the last of that line for Cellini, as Rolex has now moved into another collection that they would actually rename into the 1908, and that would actually be the more current model that you could use. I absolutely love all the Cellini aspects. I feel like it is definitely a bit of Cellini's personality, because he was definitely one of those artists who was a little hard to understand. And the more history you do or research you do on him, you will find that he probably had multiple personalities himself. And so these personalities of each Cellini definitely speaks to a different part of the artist themselves. But we want to know, which of these is your favorite? Tell us here in the comments below at SwissWatchExpo.